I remember watching Whitney Houston early on in her career on TV, and I would get these warm feelings, good feelings as I watched her sing all those nice hits that she had. Where Do Broken Hearts Go? You Give Good Love, Saving All My Love for You. And I thought, wow, this is a spectacular singer. And then I watched like the rest of the world as her career grew, and then she got married and she was sounding good, and I was watching all the shows, the award shows she was on, listening to her albums, and I always had a sense, I always felt like I wanted to protect Whitney Houston. And anytime I saw her, I would feel so good. And I never saw her live, but I always made sure that I watched every show she was on television for. And so she grew. As her career got huge, she became a more popular artist. And then things started to go wrong in her life. And I will not elaborate on that other than saying that as these things were going on, I always wanted to reach out, and I wished I could reach out and speak to her, reach out and help. Her voice started to get affected, it seemed, as a byproduct of some of her choices she made with the use of some substances over time. And I wish I could say, Whitney, don't go in that direction, because this is affecting your cash cow, your voice. It's with the voice that you have built this career that you have. And I always had a sense that I wish I could speak to her, that if she could hear from me, that it would have an impact in her life. So obviously I couldn't reach out to her. And as time went by and as things got worse, more and more negative reports started to come out about her personal life, about her career, about the issues with her voice not sounding like it used to sound. And the irony of all of this is that some people seemed to be happy that this was going on. And I was very pissed about that. There were people around her, after all. Where were these people? Why were they not trying to assist to prevent her from getting involved in some of these kinds of activities that were derailing her career, derailing her life as a whole? I remember some television show where her mother said she wanted to stage an intervention, and how that went. And the whole thing was just very unfortunate. And that over time, she tried to get herself in a better state. And I have to applaud her for that. And I can recall up to the time of the release of her very last studio album, where she said, you know what? I'm going to try to get things done better. I'm going to try to get my life better again. I'm going to try to get back into recording, try to bring those big hits out. And it was nice to see that, wow, she's coming out with a new album. The new album came out. She sounded the best she had sounded in a while. And people were happy. She was happy. She had a few music videos for the album. Like, I think $1 Million Bill was one. I liked that video. And she started to try to get out and do some tours, but that was not a very positive experience for her, and it seems for her fans. Her final concerts were something that I think even Whitney was very embarrassed to be part of, because people were actually walking out of her shows because they said, this is not what they paid for. They didn't like the way she sounded. She wasn't sounding like herself. It was so sad to see that happen around 2010, and it was just so sad. But she sucked it all up, and she knew this was going on. That must have been very painful for her to identify that I, who had this voice before, I'm standing in front of all these people who are walking out of my concert because they say I'm not sounding like I used to, or I'm not sounding right. But she managed to go through and get through some of those concerts, and I again applaud her for it. And then came 2012, and we all know what happened. It was so sad, so sad. So just thinking about the life of Whitney Houston, there are many points during her life that I always wish I could reach out and touch and offer a whisper of encouragement, some good words. I know there are other people like me out there who probably feel the same way. But let's be positive about things, where things stand right now. We can always have good memories of her and watch all her shows on television, on video, wherever, on YouTube, and feel good about Whitney Houston because she was great, she was lovely, and she was loved. And she is still loved. Thank you so much for listening to this presentation on Whitney Houston, and we look forward to seeing you on our next video. Till next time, do take care. Bye now.